All right, so video is incredibly powerful for almost everything. I did a training presentation down for the Caribbean Conference about 60 days ago and went through a lot of different material on how to use video effectively. And it does absolutely help you to build your brand. So a couple of quick things to start with. The hottest ticket to engaging today's consumers is video, whether it's used to build customer trust and loyalty, to stand out as the local area expert, or to simply effectively market your properties and generate more sales. I forget who said that, but it's a great statement. Quick question. How many of you watch either Facebook ad or Facebook videos or Instagram videos or TikTok? Most of you watch a little bit of those. Everybody seems to be watching them, and that's why we want to make sure we want to tap into that market if we can. And I'm seeing some competitors already starting to pop up on places like TikTok. A lot of them, of course, on Facebook. We've been in video for quite a while, but it's been more and more prevalent in what we're seeing. And part of the problem we're running into, and this is whether it's residential or commercial, is that so many consumers are finding us alternate ways. Used to be almost everything came from referral, and we're being found in different ways. We want to make sure that anywhere they look that we're going to be there. Now, some of these ads, some of these examples are from the Caribbean because that's where I just was. This is Central 21 Heave Ho down in Jamaica, great company, showing you their YouTube page. And of course, when I talk about YouTube, that's one way of putting videos out there. There's lots of different methods. There's lots of different things we can hit with it. But if you can leave over time an entire library of videos, people start seeing that you're handling this area or that area or that area. You're not just doing a one-off that shows up on Facebook or Instagram, but you build that library. Video Shorts community. Second one here is from Grenada. And this is a video about how wonderful it is to live there. This is a property for sale. This is the broker of the company talking about the market. This is the ins and outs of buying property. A lot of different kinds of video to try and attract people to find information about them online. Then I think one more here, St. Martin. Again, videos of a lot of the properties that they have for sale, but also developments and some lifestyle videos as well. Cayman Islands, same thing. You've got some great stuff. This particular gentleman I've met a couple of times, Zane, he is actually doing videos where he's talking in videos. You'll see this in some of the stuff that I show you today and why it's powerful and why it actually works. But I'm going to go through a lot of different content ideas, probably about 40 of them right away, and give you some thoughts on what you can do to try and attract attention. Now, please keep in mind that when people are searching for something, if you have enough tags on it, I'll get into that, you might get found. If you're trying to list something in Morristown, New Jersey, and you've got a lot of information on Morristown in that video, you may or you may not be found because there may be 2,000 videos out there about Morristown, New Jersey. So there's a lot of things to try and track them. But what you try and do is create videos that match the search that people put into Google or some other search engine. So for example, teaser ads, teaser videos that get attention, that seem to track better than anything else. 5 things people love about living in the Poconos. 5 things people love about living in the Lehigh Valley. Whatever area you're looking at, 5 things people love about living at the Delaware beaches. 5 things people love about living at the New Jersey shore. This tracks really well. Believe it or not, what tracks slightly better is 5 things people hate about living in the Poconos, 5 things people hate about living in the Lehigh Valley. Now, of course, if you're doing this for residential or commercial, you're going to want to slant this so it comes back around to it's a great place to be. You can bring it down to towns. 5 things people love about living in Catasauqua. 5 things people love about living in Pocono Farms or Green Hills or, Hideaway Manor or whatever the subdivision happens to be that you're looking at. 5 things to know before moving to the Poconos. The 3 most popular neighborhoods in the Poconos. Everybody knows those, the clickbait that's out there and what you click on. It drives me crazy now with some of the news articles that absolutely have become clickbait more than actual news articles, where we actually try and find out what they're talking about. And we've got to get 3 paragraphs in, but that's how they're bringing people to their sites. That's the same thing we need to use. So the 3 most popular neighborhoods in the Poconos, how much home can you get for $500,000 in the Poconos. How much home can you get for $500,000 in the New Jersey Shore? 5 facts most people don't know about the Poconos. 3 things to consider when buying or selling a home in the Poconos. I use this as an example, by the way. 7 service providers in the Poconos you should know. Now, one of the interesting things, and I'll get back to this a little later, is if you build others into your information, if you build others into the videos that you're putting together, you're more likely that they will share them everywhere. This works particularly well for commercial real estate, where you start bringing others into the stuff that you're putting together. But all these are set up as teaser videos, as clickbait. The idea is to try and build something that is going to attract someone to your page. We can do this very easily. Here's some other ideas. Interest videos. We talked about teaser, some search engine clickbait. Interest videos, interviews with local school board representatives, community overview, neighborhood videos. And I'll get into neighborhood videos in a few minutes that work very well. Interviews with a local restaurant owner or manager. You can do a day in the life of a realtor. You can do a home tour. Of course, we do a lot of those. Video walkthroughs, client testimonial videos, virtual open house, and then informational videos that you can put together for sending out to in emails that people will come back and look at over and over again. Now that your home's listed, what happens next? Now that your home's under contract, now that your business is under contract, now that you're under contract to buy, videos about me or about my team or about my company, the story of my favorite closing. I've had a lot of fun with those. Check-in videos, selfie videos checking in that you can post on YouTube or on Facebook or on Instagram. Quarterly market updates and some fun videos. I'm going to show you examples of a lot of this stuff. The idea, though, is to open your mind a little bit to the idea that it's not just one thing that you post to bring people in to try and look at what you've got. You have to have a lot of ideas. Why video is so critical? According to data collected by Statista, over 3 billion people watched online videos at least once per month in 2022. Over 3 billion people. And by the way, most of those are in the Western Hemisphere, I believe, maybe China as well. In the US in 2020, there were 244.4 million video viewers. The average person, that's how much it's grown. The average person is watching videos online 84 minutes per day in the United States. The average person in the United States is watching videos online for over an hour every day. The question is, how do we get them to watch our stuff? 82% of all internet traffic globally is now video. Only 18% is not video. And it's expected to continue to grow. And 90% of viewers watch video on their mobile devices, on their cell phone or their iPad. This is why video is so critical. We're watching it continually. So how do we tap into that market? How do we tap into what's out there and try and bring people in and generate sales from it? Now, where people are actually looking at video, it's still YouTube is #1, although Facebook is catching up really fast. So at the moment, 82% is still YouTube. Facebook is a close second. WhatsApp, which I don't use at all, is at 79%. Instagram at 76%. Snapchat, Twitter at 44%. LinkedIn, believe it or not, TikTok is down at 24%. Now, this was as of the end of 2022. Now, obviously, TikTok is growing by leaps and bounds, but any way you slice it, these are the places we want to make sure we've got a lot of video. YouTube and Facebook are real critical. Instagram, we hit Twitter as well. We do put some stuff on Pinterest, and TikTok is something we have not really done a foray into yet. We're going to be starting that over the next couple of weeks, although we've been studying it pretty regularly, and I'll show you some examples. So again, video might be your most powerful tool. When we're posting something on Google, or when we're posting something on the internet, part of the problem is if we're searching for a house, if we've got a buyer out there searching for a house in the Northwestern School District or Parkland School District or Philadelphia School District, they are going to be putting in their search bar in Google, they're going to put in Philadelphia School District homes for sale, unless they go to Zillow or Realtor.com directly. If they put it in there, the places that are huge, like Zillow and Realtor.com and even Century21.com, are going to show up first. You're going to be on page 27, and everybody who tells you that they can sell you all the great stuff to make you #1 in your in a search is mostly lying. There are a few ways to actually tweak it to get it higher. We'll talk about that next week, but it's very hard to outrank them. However, Google also owns YouTube. And in that first page of searches, they do find relevant video and they put it on. So you are more likely to show up on the video spots than you are in the search. So again, YouTube is 53 times more likely to rank you on the first page of Google search results than your website, because Google prioritizes video results. And the more stuff you have out there, the more likely you are to show up. And it links back to your site if you put that in YouTube, and other sites help rank your website higher. So the more stuff you put out there, every time we post something on YouTube, we put links back to our website, which brings people back to look at our stuff. Video statistics, and this is from the source Buffer. Video content generates on average 3 times as many monthly visitors as any other content. Websites with video content enjoy 88% more time spent on pages by visitors. And having video content on pages can contribute to 157% in organic traffic from search engines. And product videos increase the likelihood of purchases by 85%. Now, I don't think we've got products that we're going to sell over the internet, but we will have houses and businesses and buildings that are going to attract attention. And all of that becomes powerful as we post it everywhere. And again, some of the types of real estate videos we're going to use: home tours and property videos, general marketing videos, market updates, local information on towns and town tours, local interest videos, educational videos. We're going to get creative in a couple of minutes, some viral videos and telling stories. You can do ongoing video programs. You can put together humor or music videos that catch attention. And all of this leads us back to our goal, which is to generate leads, build a following, and build your personal brand. Now, Zane here has built a personal brand. He goes in the houses with the video, with his video production, and makes sure that he's involved in all of them so people feel like they know him. Now, that takes a lot more work than just doing a video tour. So let me start with the basics. Property tour. You want to impress your property sellers and tap into their social networks. Now, let me back up a second. I've told everybody repeatedly that when we list a property, we automatically create a video of the property. We use a software program called Paradigm. We subscribe to it. When you take your 12 or 15 or 40 photos of your property, whether it's residential or commercial, that gets sent to Paradigm. Paradigm then takes the photos and pans them as if they're video, puts transitions between the photos, and puts a voiceover in the background. This beautiful 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath residence, blah, blah, blah. That gets put up on YouTube, so there is something being posted for you automatically. However, we want to impress the people that we're trying to work with. So whenever I'm listing a commercial building, for example, I am absolutely doing a video. Now, it costs a little bit of money, but I'm actually having a drone tour, which shows the aerial, shows the area, goes in the front door of the building, shows the inside, and I put that together to try and attract attention. But part of that attention is I'm trying to impress our property sellers and tap into their social networks, because those people that we're doing the videos for are sharing them to everybody they know. We're tapping into their network in addition to ours. We attract new property listings with our enhanced marketing. So if you do video tours of properties and you do professional photos, you're more likely to get other people to contact you because they like what you put out there. Now, there's a realtor in the Poconos that drives me crazy. I don't have copies of his pictures up here at the moment. He intentionally does everything cockeyed. And I don't know if I can explain this real well. Let me try and stop share for a second so I can show it. So, oh, there's the camera. So he twists all of his pictures at an angle and posts them all at an angle so they catch attention. That is not what I would suggest as putting something out that looks great, but it does brand him. It does set him apart from others. And that's one of the things that you can try and do to attract attention. I don't agree with his particular method, but it does work for him. People know him because he's the one who takes the pictures that are kind of cockeyed. So you have enhanced marketing. You're building a visual showcase of what you've sold, and you're enticing buyers to contact you about buying. And this visual showcase, as you sell properties, you can change it on YouTube or on Facebook to sold, and you can post it again. So you're trying to show them what you're actually doing every step of the way. Now, there's lots of equipment we use, and there's lots of different methods we use to try and get home videos. The better the tour, the more likely you are to attract future clients from your tour. Now, we use drones, tripods, and sliders, and we create motion. So we want to make sure that when we're doing video, it doesn't look like that slideshow that we're automatically creating for you. We want it to look like real video. So we turn the fire on in the fireplace. We have the ceiling fans running. We want some motion in the back of the video to identify it as really video. Now, this is an example of a drone, and drones are great and horrifying at the same time. Now, because I did this presentation out of the country, I talk about different areas and what they allow. In the US, you cannot post drone video unless you have a pilot's license. And that means taking a course, getting an exam done down in Philadelphia, and getting a pilot's license for drone purposes. I've got some pretty expensive drone equipment, and we've had a lot of fun with it. And we posted a bunch of videos. And then we got a knock on the door at the Allentown office, and the FAA came and served us with a cease and desist order, telling us we'd be fined and shut down if we kept posting our own videos, which meant we had to outsource them to somebody else. And that's what we did. Now, we can, of course, always go around and get a pilot's license. I just don't have time to do that. So be very careful what you do. And owners will tell you, well, I'll just video it myself. That doesn't work. First of all, they won't do a good job. But secondly, even if the owner posts a video of the property themselves with a drone, they're breaking the law unless they actually have a pilot's license. Now, some of the stuff that I use an HD video camera or DSLR. These, in my opinion, actually video better than video cameras. But it's up to you whether or not you want to use that or if you want to use a mobile phone. But if you are using a mobile phone, make sure you hold it horizontally. Stabilizers are very powerful, making sure that it doesn't bounce around. One of the things that I probably say that I probably have a picture in here somewhere, but whenever you're taking photos, whenever you're taking video of anything, always use a tripod if you are videoing yourself. So many of us believe we can hold that camera steady, and you can't. You can't hold the camera steady because you're breathing, and as you breathe, you have motion in your hands. And the second thing is you've got a pulse in your thumbs. Because of that, the camera will move, and you will see it when you put it on a nice big screen and you try and play it back. So use a tripod. You can even use a remote to make it come out better. We also use wireless microphones or shotguns, especially if we're trying to do something where we're going to be talking. And we can use something called a slider, which I'll show you in a minute. Now, excuse me, this is a stabilizer. I have one that looks like this. It actually, they were about $400. They've got cheaper ones for cell phones that are not bad. They've got some pretty good ones now that are even that are probably 70 or 80 bucks that will actually hold it stable. And the idea is, let me back up to drones for a second and give you on a drone idea. The difference between a cheap drone and an expensive drone is something called a gimbal. It's not just the camera, it's the thing that holds the camera. On a cheap drone you buy at Walmart that you can buy for 100 bucks, if you send it up in the air, the wind is going to get it and it's going to wiggle, it's going to wobble, and that video is going to come back terrible. The expensive drones that you could buy for $1,000, $2,000 have cameras that are on stabilizers in the air. So no matter what happens to the drone, that camera stays perfectly still. It's pretty interesting to watch. Now, those are pretty expensive drones when you use them, but you get nice, clean, clear shots with a drone that's got a stabilizer. This is the same idea. No matter what you do, and I didn't bring an example with me of moving it around, but no matter what you do with the camera, this holds it stable so that the camera stays horizontal and it stays stable. It doesn't bounce around. And again, tripod, we've got to make sure we use a tripod for any video we're doing so that we make sure it stays stable and together. And then we use microphones. Now, I'm going to get around some examples, but microphones, I never use the onboard mic because you won't get good sound. We either use a shotgun mic to try and get the person we're trying to listen to, or a lavalier mic. Let me give you an example. Hopefully this will work pretty well. So this is a guy that we videoed probably 15 years ago, and this is a camera mic over here. Now, what you're getting is all that ambient sound in the background. You can hear the guy who's doing the video, but you can't hear this guy talking in the background. Now, we did the same thing, but we put a lavalier mic on him, and this is what he actually sounds like. And again, a great voice, but you don't get that unless you actually have something on him. And by the way, these little lavalier mics, you can buy some of them for 30 or 40 bucks. It's worth doing. If you're going to be doing something where you're talking. Oops, hang on. This is called a dolly track. You probably don't need this, but they're kind of cool. This is another way you can actually move around without having to use a drone. You can have a camera slide along a dolly, or you can tilt the dolly so that it looks like you're rising and going up and down. Let me show you a quick example of that. Hopefully this video is coming through okay. It's a little, sticking a little bit on my side, but they're generally nice and clean. Now he's doing this in a kitchen where he's got the thing set up between two pieces of furniture. And then he's got it going where they're sort of time lapsing it, where you've got it, you speed it up in post. But lots of different equipment you can use in order to make something work. And again, for property tours, remember, have a ceiling fan running, put a fire in the fireplace, have some water running in the sink, have a shower running, hot tub bubbling, showcase it as video, not still photography. Now, here are a couple of quick examples. We want to try and attract our buyers and leverage our relationships with our sellers. This is some of the stuff you can do with a drone. I won't bore you with too much of this. I did a couple of clips. And again, these were from one of our Caribbean groups, but you can do this for any property anywhere. They're doing a pretty nice job showcasing it. You can see the water moving, and this is all being done with a drone. The drone's holding it nice and steady. So even though you see all this wind in the background, the drone is not bouncing around. This one. Now this is just a straight shot where they have the drone moving forward. But again, it's a good drone. This is why you want to hire the right person if you're having somebody do it. That's actually flying something that's not going to bounce around. Because if you were using one of those Walmart drones, this would be bouncing all over the place. Now, this is kind of a simplistic version because all they're doing is going back and forth with the drone, but it's the idea. Of course, the setting speaks for itself. And then this is Zane. This is what he does. Now, let me explain that what he's doing here is using a stabilizer. This isn't actually a drone. He's actually moving a camera around, and they're speeding up in production after they get it all videoed. They're speeding up sections of it, which isn't that hard to do. But it's holding it nice and steady, well, mostly nice and steady while they're walking. And these videos work well to get people to know Zane, as an example. Here's a video that series is being done by somebody. I forget what area this is in, but they have a corgi, and when they're doing their home tours, when they post their videos, they follow the corgi around the house. Believe it or not, this particular video has 78,000 views. 78,000 people like to watch this dog walk around the house. There's the dog laying in the bed. Not sure how the owners felt about that. There's the supposedly dog showing the bathroom. So some cute stuff that catches attention. 78,000 views just on this one video. This particular realtor, the corgi realtor, is getting lots and lots of attention. This guy, I don't think I actually stored the whole video. He's showing a condo complex, and he shows himself in the weight room, and he picks up a weight and he says, I pick things up, I put them down. And then he swims in the thing. He's cooking in the kitchen, but he's at least showing what's going on in the house. Again, a different way of telling a story. Can have a lot of fun with these. Now, this one won some awards. I'm going to let this one play because it's kind of cute, and see what you think of it. Because if we can recreate some stuff like this, you get millions of viewers. Now, if you're listening to it, he's actually describing the great location, the great school district, and he's going to describe the house as he's doing this quick mystery thing. Now, again, not very expensive stuff to do in this case, but he had a little bit of fun with it and attracted a lot of viewers. And every time you take a video, I want you to post it absolutely everywhere. Facebook, post a link on Twitter, make sure it's on YouTube. We can help you set up these pages. That's not a problem. Or anything you want to put together. And by the way, if you're creating your own YouTube channel and you want some material to have on it, so you don't just have one video, I can give you several of them that you can put on at least temporarily, and then we can start building a whole set. And ask your clients, your agents, your friends, everybody you know to share your videos, because the more places they go, the better. Now, when I talk about video, I do like to talk a little bit about Matterport tours, because this is something that has been very popular lately, and I have mixed feelings on it. Anybody used a Matterport tour before? Not yet. So they're interesting. The idea is, and the gentleman that I'm using at the moment for videos does this as well. The Matterport tour, they go through, it takes about an hour and a half on a property. And he's doing large warehouses, he's doing office buildings, he's doing houses. And you put this camera that has 6 lenses in it in 3 spots in each room. It slowly circles, and then all the data that it collects room by room, it gets sent out to this company, Matterport, and Matterport builds this dollhouse effect where you can go into any spot and then you can walk around. You can even buy a pair of glasses and virtually walk through the house. It's pretty interesting. You can move any direction. You can look at it. It's kind of cool. Now, there's pros and cons to this. One of the pros is people love to play with these because it's unique, it's different. Most people aren't doing it. The cons are you can't do it outside. So you don't get the outside feature of the house because it's really building the interior. The second problem with it is you pay on a monthly basis to have it hosted. And when you stop paying to have it hosted, maybe it's only $3 or $4, but when you stop paying to have it hosted, it goes away. The problem I have with that is on YouTube, I can build videos that I can leave there for the rest of eternity, theoretically. With Matterport, you have to keep paying if you want to keep them up. So I like the concept. I'm just not sure that what they have is the best idea at the moment. but it is something that's out there, and you will hear some clients ask about these Matterport tours. They are really cool. So again, they have a coolness factor. They allow you to virtually walk through the house. They build this dollhouse, even get you the room sizes, but they do have to be hosted through Matterport at a monthly cost. They do not include exterior spaces. They can't be hosted on YouTube, and the equipment is not cheap. It's not that you can go out and buy the equipment very easily because it's thousands of dollars, but you can outsource it to somebody else just like you can with other video. Now, we talked a little bit about videos of properties. I want to get into a lot of the different types of things that you can do, whether we do them over Zoom or whether we do them with video cameras. Some of the stuff you can do is local informational videos. You can do videos about the area where you're showing anything. And by the way, the area can be almost anything. It can be your neighborhood, it can be your town, it can be the general region. This is Island Realty. This particular video, now keep in mind, this is an amazing spot where they're selling properties, but thousands and thousands of views of this particular video. So create videos in each market area, each region, or each municipality. Your goal is to be found by search engines. So some of the best agents around the world have gone through their area. Let's say they specialize in the Upper Bucks School District. They can actually create a video in every single neighborhood on the Upper Bucks School District. They're more likely to be found on YouTube. They're more likely to be found as the person who really knows the area. And you close out every video with a little bit about yourself. Create videos on points of interest. You can start by standing in front of something iconic in that neighborhood or that area. If it's got a lake community, you can stand in front of the lake. If it has an old statue of something, you can stand in front of the statue. Talk about what makes that neighborhood or that small town great. The videos only have to be a minute or two, and you can use what we call B-roll photos or video of the area and stitch it together. So in other words, you don't have to have continuous video. You can build in a couple of pictures of some things that are in the area while you continue to talk. And you can do videos neighborhood by neighborhood. Whatever might be searched might be a possible video. Now here's a real estate company in, I think this is Chicago, that created videos of every single town around it. And these different towns, then the videos come up and they have a lot of hits. Another example of it, this is a different company that did this. Avondale, I don't know if this is New Jersey, but anyway, Avondale, 93,000 views on a short video on Avondale. 14,000 views on something called Beverly. Humboldt Park, 12,000 views. Lots of 22,000 views in Bucktown. Lots of people finding this because they put in their own neighborhood, and you're one of the very few videos that shows up on the neighborhood, and you get a lot of attention. Again, we want to get creative. 5 things people love about living in the Lehigh Valley. 5 things people hate about living in the Lehigh Valley. What are the 3 most popular neighborhoods in Kingston? How much home can you get for $300,000 in the Lehigh Valley? 5 facts most people don't know about the Lehigh Valley. 3 things to consider when buying and selling in the Lehigh Valley. Things you can try and put together to get a little creative. This is one that, sorry, I didn't actually do the video. This is one on one of the Century 21 pages that just talks about the different types of food in the Dominican Republic. Now you can do Philly food, or you can do whatever area you're looking at, what kind of stuff that you're going to attract. Anything you can think of, try and bring in attention. And any video details, make sure you put tags on. Now, in this case, I think that's actually a video of one of the buildings that we're managing. This is a shopping center out in Harrisburg. But to give you an example of the type of tags you can use, Caribbean real estate, Jamaica real estate, Jamaica realtor, Century 21, beachfront property, oceanfront property, Caribbean beach. Now for this, what I'd probably be doing is Harrisburg real estate, Harrisburg commercial real estate, retail real estate, Harrisburg retail real estate, Harrisburg retail realtor, storefronts for lease. Anything you can think of to put tags on, because the more tags you have there, the more likely you are to be found. Anything you can put together to try and attract attention. And then create a following. You can also do some market update videos. Now, this is a broker from Granada. Now this is all B-roll. They've taken video in the past, and she's talking to the camera, and she's playing some of this in the background, but she's talking about what's happening in the marketplace. The Bright multi-list, which covers all of almost all of Eastern Pennsylvania, South Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Virginia, that has statistics they put out every single week. And every week, you can take that information and turn it into a 2-minute video. Lehigh Valley multi-list puts out another a great thing on the market, what's happening every month. Poconos puts something out, but I have a little bit more trouble following it. But some of these are very, very good. You can just take that and utilize it in your video, create something. Some of the other types of videos you can put together, obviously homes for sale, welcome to our neighborhoods, which we talked about, some market updates. You can do sections on commercial real estate. You might separate waterfront property, condos, information on real estate, and one on local vendors where you interview local vendors. I don't know if I have it in here, but one of the things we've done very successfully, and we have not done as well over the past 6 or 8 months, is workshops. So workshops, for example, can be done via Zoom. They can be done in person as well. We've done those in the Bethlehem office because we've got that whole training center where everybody can get together and bring people in, and we're always welcome to have anybody you want there. But we've done over Zoom how to buy a property, doing the entire thing in Spanish. And we'll have a mortgage broker on. We'll have a realtor on who speaks Spanish and go through the process of buying. We've done it on first-time home buyers. We've done it on buying your first investment property. And we're probably going to do one of those the next couple of weeks. Buying your first investment property, how to invest in real estate. What is your real return on an investment? Lots of different types of, and we are going to be doing one with Rich on insurance and why insurance matters. And we'll do one on flood insurance. We're going to do one on life insurance and why it's so important. But different kinds of videos that are going to attract somebody. And you not only put it on Zoom, you automatically stream live to Facebook, and I can help you do this. I can set this up so that it streams live to Facebook. That'll get some viewers, but as it's stored on both Facebook and then we post it onto YouTube as well, people are going to find it and play it back and hopefully think of you as the expert in that field. So we look for what you can do to try and attract attention, and all that can be done by video. They get to know you, they get to think of you because they're seeing information that you're providing them. Creating some potentially viral content. Now, I would love to create some of this stuff. I'm just not quite as talented as some of these people. So if anybody comes up with some ideas, I'd love to hear it. A couple of quick music videos, I did probably 30 seconds of each because they're kind of interesting. And the number of hits on these are just silly. Now, what they're doing here, to give you an example, they're filming this twice. I've done this technique. It's kind of interesting. You put the camera on a tripod. Be very careful not to move it. And the first time you film it, just with the people moving in the background, she's not here, just the sofa and everybody walking around in the background. And then the second time you film it, she's sitting here, and you overlay them over each other at different speeds. And that's what actually works to try and create this. $30,000 videos on one page. Now, this is actually on several sites, but just on one of the YouTube pages, there's 30,000 views. There's 49,000 views on a second YouTube page, 79,000 views between this. I have no idea how many views she had on Instagram and Facebook because it's there also. So if you look at just this, we're not far off 100,000 views just on one site. And this video ended up going everywhere. Now, this probably took a lot of work to put together, but you can have a little bit of fun with it too. This is another one that's gotten a lot of attention. This is a realtor down in North Carolina. So cute video, catches a lot of attention, got tons and tons of showings on it, or views on it. This is one that I'm not going to play the video, but I didn't like this video at all. I thought it was stupid, and still ended up getting 115,000 views and 10,000 subscribers to her page. She did another one with 4.9 million views, a really terrible video based on, do you want to build a snowman? She's telling him, do you want to sell your house because you don't really want to live here anymore? Terrible video. 4.9 million views. Again, a lot of people will come back to this over and over again. When you click on her name, you're going to get her website, and her sales just skyrocketed because so many people came and looked at her stuff. Local interest videos, we talked about a little bit, but you can also use this to try and build a brand with everybody around you. Now, keep in mind, we all know about 100 people that we interact with on a semi-regular basis. Now, that 100 people on the residential side, 14 of them are going to move the next 12 months, and 7 of them are going to both buy and sell, so it's 21 potential sales. If it's a business owner, remember the average business owner only stays in their business for 5 years. Only 5 years. That means that they sell. Now, some people stay there forever, but most don't. Taverns turn over real fast, bed and breakfasts, all sorts of things. But one of the things you can do to try and build your network out is to try and integrate other people into your advertising. So there's a very successful realtor who about 3 years ago when he started, he left the professional golf and got into commercial real estate. And he started going from business owner to business owner, and once a week, he goes into a business, holds up his cell phone on a one of those selfie stick type things, but one that's got a gimbal on it. And he interviews the seller for about 90 seconds. And that owner of that business will post the video everywhere. And this guy has tons and tons of people following. I'm going to show you an example of that, not one of his, actually, an example of an older one. But interviews with local business owners, pizza shop owner, hardware, daycare. Hey, this is the best pizza place in the entire known universe in Canada. I want to introduce you to Joe, the pizza maker. Interviews with local school representatives to get attention. There was a realtor that was very successful in finding different politicians and asking them about commercial real estate and getting them to talk on camera about commercial real estate and building it into like an episodic show. He got to the Chamber of Commerce president who likes to be on camera. He got to a couple of business owners from the Chamber of Commerce. Then he made it down to all the local politicians one by one. And of course, they're sharing it. You're sharing it, and it gets everywhere. And those politicians start talking about you, which is really kind of interesting. A day in the life of a realtor, and you can even do something called the story of my favorite closing. Remember what this is. Oh, this is an example of, ooh, that's loud, of a business. This is again Mike LeFevre. Now, this is probably a 10-year-old video. It's not very high resolution. Really poor quality video. But here's the thing. Oh. Well, you can tell he's not from this area. 2 years out. Anyway, so shows the area. Put some interesting stuff about this particular business online. And the business owner not only reposts it, but the business owner is now selling you to everybody on earth. You are now that business owner's realtor for life. And that business owner is going to tell everybody about you because you help their business. And this is something this particular realtor, not this one that I'm talking about here, but another one, did once a week for about 3 years, and just his business skyrocketed because he's all these business owners out there helping him to build his business. Again, informational videos. You can put together some short videos on what happens after your home is listed, what happens after your home's under contract, What happens during a due diligence period? You can do one about yourself or your team. You can even do a virtual open houses. And you can do informational videos that'll attract attention. Can I afford to retire in the Poconos? That's one that might get people finding it online because it's a different kind of video. How to buy your first investment property. This has been really successful for us. How to get your offer accepted these days is probably a cool video that we could put together. I've not done that yet. Choosing the right offer isn't always the highest offer. That's a true statement. But trying to do something that is like clickbait that people are going to watch. What to expect from a home inspection or building inspection? Is buying a house a good idea? Is buying a house now a good idea? Can buying a house be a tax deduction? And is buying a home cheaper than renting? Are all ideas to try and bring in people to watch your stuff. Some other informational videos. Who pays the closing costs when I buy a house? What credit score do I need to get a home mortgage? Do sellers have to disclose if someone died in the house? Anybody who's been in the business a while, that's a question we can ask a lot. Can I buy a house for Airbnb renting? Airbnb is hot right now, but a lot of areas don't allow it. So that's something that you can put together, and I would bet would get a lot of attention. Can I buy a car while I'm in the middle of buying a house? How much do I need to put down to buy a house? You can do this for a business too. How much do I need to buy to put down to buy a business? When is the best time of year to sell a house, and when is the best time of year to buy a house? Are all ideas you can put together in informational videos. I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff at you, but the idea is to try and get your mind working, and then we can work through how to help you to start putting these videos together. And any educational video, you've got to have a call to action at the end of each video so the consumer can find you or they can identify themselves. So if you want more information, please call me at this number. Please email me at this address. Please check me out online at this website. I'll be happy. I've got lots more information. I've got a free booklet you can get, but let me know if you're interested in buying or selling, something to get attention. Now over to TikTok just for a minute, because TikTok is the new thing. Now I'll tell you what drives me absolutely crazy about TikTok is that I hate these vertical pictures because you can't showcase a property, I think, effectively with a vertical picture, but it doesn't matter, because that's what they have, and that's what millions and millions and millions of people are watching. So these are examples of some of the TikTok videos that are coming out now that we're looking at. Now, again, some of these realtors walk through the house. Now, you have to do it fast because there's a time limit on these videos. Some of the videographers we're dealing with, Andrew, for example, will shoot TikTok videos for you if you'd like. Now, you can do this yourself with a selfie stick that has a gimbal on it, something that's going to hold it steady, a stabilizer stick, and you can walk through. Now, you'll notice if you want two people in the video, you need two people, one holding the camera and one walking through the property, as an example. Here's Penthouse Soho. Now, most of these you'll see in the early videos that were coming out on TikTok were all very, very expensive. Again, you're looking at drone footage up at the top. Here you've got a whole team working on showing the house and moving through very quickly. Very cool houses too, by the way. And here again, you've got a couple of different agents working through. You've got a continuous stream here. So somebody may have to do it 2 or 3 times to get it right. By this point, the realtor has moved into another room quickly while they were going the other direction. Again, these are very, very expensive properties, but you can do this with anything. Here's one that is supposedly done with a drone. Must be a very small drone, but again, you're walking through the property and showing it. And again, you can't see exactly everything because it's an upright video. Now over here, now, unfortunately, I have to have a property like this in order to catch this kind of attention, but this had millions of views. And this one is likely a drone flying away to show the actual property. But again, this is something that TikTok has become very powerful. So we want to make sure that you have it. Now, there are some agents on TikTok that are doing market updates. This agent is in Phoenix. And in this one, she's talking about price reductions and how they're happening now in the Phoenix area. Gives a Phoenix market update. And she does one on why she quit her 9-to-5 job, which apparently got a lot of activity as well. But the idea being, again, trying to get somebody to watch your videos. This particular agent does Neosha Walker, 5 don'ts in real estate. I don't remember what this one is, and 5 tips on how to become a luxury real estate agent. So things that attract attention, something that's going to attract people to watch. And again, while we're talking about videos, remember that Zoom meetings can be streamed live on Facebook and stay on Facebook for people to find. We can do one on 7 tips for selling your home fast in the current market, how to stage your home to sell, how to value an investment property, how to buy a home with low down payment. One of the great ones for a commercial is how to do a 1031 exchange. We can bring in somebody who will talk about 1031 exchanges and interview them over Zoom. Video text to clients. We've done that with a cell phone. Hey, it's your 1-year home anniversary. How are you liking it? I just want to invite you to our upcoming open house. All things that we can put together. And with video, I've thrown a lot of stuff at you. It's the old thing. How to eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You've got to work your way through this to try and make it work and try and get everything you can online. And again, I know I threw a lot of stuff at you. Let's see. Oops. This is the same agent again. So again, you can have a lot of fun with this stuff. So let me open it up to questions. Any questions any of you have on some thoughts on what we might be able to do with video in order to be effective?
Hi, Lauren. I had a question about bringing in other people with the commercial real estate videos. Could you provide like an example of like how that would look or what you mean by that?
Sure. So similar to what we're doing here, what we normally do is, let's stop the share for a second. We can create something that looks similar to what we're doing right now, where you're seeing all of us on the screen. I can actually pin them. There's a way to, even if you have 100 people watching, we can set it up where we only have, let's say, 3 people on the screen and you can't see who else is here. And of those 3 people on the screen, let's say we're doing one on 1031 exchanges. That's a popular topic these days to talk about. 1031 exchange, for those of you who don't know, is a way to sell a property and not pay the capital gains on it by rolling it into the next property, at least temporarily. You're deferring the exchange, the gain. So we get someone from one of the exchange companies that holds the money, and we bring them on, and we go through a part where we talk initially. Let's say it's you doing the presentation. I get you some slides so we can go back and forth between slides, share something, and then come back to the screen with everybody on it and show the basics of what a 1031 exchange is, and then start asking the other person questions. We've done this with 2 or 3 people on at the same time. We actually did one a few years ago where we had, and we did this actually prior to using Zoom, we were using an Adobe product, but we did one with about 5 people on where we talked about how to get a business started. And one was a business attorney and one was a business accountant, and of course the commercial realtor and so on. And we put a program together like that for about 2 hours. We've done a few of them on what's the state of the economy with retail properties. And we did one on cap rates. Where are cap rates going? What's the value of it? And the idea is if you have 2 or 3 people on, we can go back and forth between and try and explain it a little bit better. And sometimes the dynamic of talking works better when you have a couple of people throwing in thoughts and advice. Does that sort of make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much for that.
And anything you want to do, by the way, we can try and help it set up. It's an idea of what you want to try and target, and then we'll try and send it out to everybody we can. The other thing we can do on places like Facebook is we can build a target audience. So for example, if I download, if I buy a list of anybody in a particular area that is an owner of an apartment complex, and we feed that list to Facebook, they can try and push ads directly to those people. We can also target an audience by looking at anybody who is owns an apartment building that is a member of Facebook or Instagram, and we can start an ad campaign on which way are cap rates going and what do we expect cap rates to be in a year, as an example, for apartments, and send that out as an ad that gets hopefully tagged onto anybody who's an investor in that area, and some people will log on and see it. Lots of different ways to try and attract that audience. Of course, we can email people as well. We can invite people personally, but if we can actually push that list out and have it show up in their feeds, sometimes that helps to attract attention. And of course, we also ask people to share it. Other questions anybody's got? And Rich, I know we're doing one coming up on particularly on life insurance and why it's critically important, particularly for independent contractors, and something on insurance for your business.
Yeah, and I was just thinking of a funny one. We might be able to do something with a shelter with dogs, because a lot of people are surprised that if they own 12 different type of breeds of dogs, their homeowners insurance will go up significantly, and sometimes some carriers won't even insure the house. So that would be a good idea too, I think.
That's not bad. Try and attract attention. What breeds of dog increase the cost of your insurance?
Right. And the title could be, why does Fluffy cost you so much, or something like that.
When you're talking about animals, I don't know that this would help us or hurt us in any particular way, but there's a trend in opening cat cafes. Have you ever heard of a cat cafe? Apparently, you apparently go there and you get like tea or coffee or whatever, and there are cats in there and you pet them. I see no benefit to this whatsoever, but apparently they're popular and lots of people are going to these cat cafes. So it might be a trend where somebody may want to open one in a particular area, and that might be something we can create a video on. What's a cat cafe, and is one coming to your area soon? Right. And the idea is that if you're looking to open one, we can find you the right space type thing, that sort of idea.
Yeah.
Other questions?
Been very helpful.
I threw a lot of stuff out there, but trying to get the ideas out so that we can try and utilize them. There's so much stuff we can do with video, and video is so powerful. The idea, though, is to try and start utilizing it the best we can. All right, last call. Any other questions? All right, then I look forward to seeing all of you sometime soon. Let me know if anybody needs anything. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.